Hey guys, Harman back for another review. So today we're going to take a look at the NECA Toys Christopher Reeve figure from the Superman movie, 1978. This figure comes in the same packaging as the 18-inch figure was. It's like this nice clear window box, and it features the Krypton style packaging with the Superman logo on the front. You also see this DC Collectibles symbol, which is reminiscent of the same that we saw on the other NECA releases. On the back of the packaging, you'll get a nice description of the movie, and you can see the figure clearly displayed in a hover pose. Sides of the packaging pretty much just have the same little Krypton crystals as the front. Now this is the fourth release from NECA for the DC collection, and they're all on a 7-inch scale. The first release was 1989 Batman, the Michael Keaton version, and you also had the recent releases, which was Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight, the 1966 Batman played by Adam West, and now the Christopher Reeve Superman from 1978. So look forward to seeing some more releases by NECA, but for now let's go ahead and take this out of the packaging and get a closer look. Alright, so here he is, guys, 1978 Christopher Reeve Superman. This figure is awesome, man, I tell you. NECA's done a really good job with these DC figures, and this Christopher Reeve Superman is definitely no exception. The detail is extremely well done, and the posability is very good. So let's go ahead and get a nice close-up of the head sculpt. Alright, so checking out that head sculpt, you can see NECA's done a really good job of capturing the likeness of Christopher Reeve. Down to the hair and the curl and just everything. It's just extremely well detailed. Don't see any noticeable chips in the paint or any kind of flubs or anything like that. I mean, this is just really, really well done. You can see that the hair has like a shine on it, which is really nice. You can see the part really well done. Just a really, really nice job with this. The sideburns. And he's, never had a beard, so he's very clean. Just a really nice job on that head sculpt. I mean, this did start as the 18-inch figure, so there's a lot of detail put into those figures. And I think when they, scale them down, that detail is it really isn't lost. I mean, it almost seems to be even better than we would expect. So, I mean, you could really see the actor's likeness here, and this is just a really, really well done job on NECA's part. I mean, this just looks exactly like Christopher Reeve. And down to the torso, you could really see the details are definitely nice in here. He's got the S for the Superman logo clearly displayed on his chest, and the paint detail is very nicely done. You don't see any of the red going into the yellow, and it seems to be fairly cleanly done. The body has this bit of musculature, but what's really neat about this is kind of like the 89 Batman. If you push on the chest, you could see that this material is actually not just the one piece. This is over top of the body, so it really gives the illusion that he's actually wearing fabric, and that could be because I believe the 18-inch scale version did have a fabric shirt, but they really captured it very nicely. I mean, you can see it does move, so it gives a really nice illusion that he's wearing a shirt. But you can see like a little bit of a muscular build here, and the arms aren't like gigantic, but I mean, this is what Christopher Reeve looked like. He wasn't like a muscle man. He's Superman. He's not, bunch of muscles. So the trunks are really well done, red and the yellow belt. And then down to the back of the cape, you could see the Superman logo, which is really nice. And this doesn't really feel like a sticker or anything. It feels like it's got a little bit of a texture to it. So it's on there pretty good. It's not going to just like peel off. And the cape is really soft. It's not like the NECA or the 89 NECA Batman at all. It's very, very soft cape. Now you can see in the back he's got a bit of a seam. Now I'm not sure why it has that, but you know, it doesn't look horrible. It just looks like regular clothing. So I don't know if that was in the regular Superman costume or not. And then you can see the trunks are really well done. And down to the boots, you can see these are really nicely detailed. You can see like the little cut at the top. So these are well painted and very nicely done. And the whole outfit really sticks with the same color. It doesn't really fade or look darker in any spots. Now, DC Collectibles has had some issues with their articulation, and unfortunately NECA's had a little bit of issues with theirs. There has been reports of breakages, so I will warn you before testing the articulation out and putting him in dynamic poses. I did use a hair dryer to heat up the joints. Now I don't do that with every figure, but since this is such a high demand, rare figure to be made, I wanted to be extra secure. So let's go over the articulation. He's got that same ball joint on the head like we're pretty much used to at this point for NECA, and he's got a really good range of movement. One of the things I really like about this is he can look up pretty far, which would be good when you're doing you know, your poses and flying through the air. And he can also look down very far. So we've had some issues with other characters not being able to do that, but NECA has seemed like they're really got good movement on the Superman figure. And then the shoulders are cut right here, have the elbow, and then you have the wrist articulation. So you can turn pretty freely, and you can also cradle the wrist a little bit or get in like a punching type of pose. And then down to the waist, you get a little bit here. You can go left to right. And there's a bit of an ab crunch also, so you can get a little bit more angle on him. The legs can go up and down pretty decently far, but he doesn't really do too much high kicks anyway. And then the knees do bend. And then the feet, I really can't get much motion out of the feet. They can rock just a little bit, but I'm not really too worried about it. It's loosened up a little bit, so you can get a pretty decent range out of that. And that's about it. Now, one thing really nice about the articulation, once you know, like I said, once you heat it up, it really does seem like a really sturdy figure. So people have complained about breakages, but like I said, just don't rip it out of the box and not heat it up. You really should use heat on those joints. Now, one thing really nice about this cape is that the cape is actually tucked in through the shirt. And it's really nice the way they did this, and could be the reason we have this extra layer on the Superman figure. But it's really awesome how they got that in there, so you don't have to worry about it tearing off or getting frayed or anything like that around the neck. And then also, if you look on the inside, it is wrapped, so you can kind of spread this out just a little bit more. It's actually a pretty good size cape. But the way that it comes, you know, folded and everything makes it a really nice cape to just pose with the behind the shoulder type of look. So really well done on NECA's part there. So as far as accessories, you're really not going to get too much here, but he is Superman, so you really, what accessories does he really need besides his fist? If you want to go ahead and use these interchangeable hands that are included, which are like flight hands, you could just pop this hand right here, and you can see there's just a long peg, and just pop in the new like flying pose hand. So they can, this could be for his different flying poses, or maybe you can have him slapping Darkseid in the face or something. So, but yeah, that is two different flying pose hands included, one for the left hand and one for the right hand. Okay, so for our first comparison, here's Christopher Reeve Superman next to the Heath Ledger Joker, also made by NECA Toys. And these guys look awesome next to each other, perfectly in scale, and it's just so nice to have a quality company making these awesome movie figures. I mean, this is really what people are looking for. The ones that Mattel put out just don't hold a candle to these. So very cool that we have these two figures now. And here he is next to the classic Predator made by NECA Toys. And you can see they are in the same scale, and Predator is just a good bit bigger. And here he is next to the General Zod figure made by Mattel from the Man of Steel movie. And I think even with this helmet on, he's a little too short to fight Superman. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the Mattel Multiverse Superman, but I do have the 1989 Batman, and you can see there's a huge height difference. So this 89 Batman is the same size as the Christopher Reeve Superman that Mattel made. So you can get an idea of just the quality difference and really the size difference. And here he is next to the 1989 NECA Michael Keaton Batman. And these are definitely amazing figures made by NECA. This was released last year around Christmas time, but you could still get it for a decent price, but great figures. Alright, so that's my review. All in all, I'd say this is definitely a really, really good figure. I'm impressed that NECA's amazing detail is still captured in even this 7-inch scale. The fact that they went with like the soft goods on here instead of just giving us like a plastic or rubber cape was a really nice touch. You know, aside from the breakages that were reported, I think this is just a great figure. It took years to actually get a appropriate Christopher Reeve figure, and I think NECA's delivered, you know, an A+ here. The 18-inch version, you saw a couple little differences, but it's really just as far as the articulation, and I believe it did have a fabric part on the chest at least. But I'm really impressed with this 7-inch figure. Great figure. Thanks for watching my review. I might have some more coming up soon. If not, I just posted a Harley Quinn DC Collectibles figure review if you want to go ahead and watch that one. But yeah, I should have another Batman coming, but I think it might be a Christmas present, so you probably won't see a 1966 Batman review for a little while from me. You can pick these figures up at Toys R Us. It is an exclusive right now, and it's also on Warner Brothers eBay store, so you can find them there. But you're not going to find them in any other shop, so good luck finding them. Go to the DVD section, and that's where you will see them, hopefully. You can also look for the Heath Ledger Joker, like I said, this 1966 Batman, or this figure. And if you do get it on the eBay store, you unfortunately have to get one of the DVDs, and the only one that comes with this is the Man of Steel, which is kind of a joke. I really wanted the 78 Superman movie because I honestly don't have it. So yeah, great figure. Sorry I didn't have any Superman figures to compare it with. I'm not really that big of a Superman person, but I absolutely love the 78 movie and just had to have this figure. Please subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and until next time, guys, see you later.